What up, Silverhounds? Thanks for coming on the show.
From New Jersey?
Yeah.
Long way.
All right, well, I mean, you guys travel a long way, so thanks so much for coming on the show.
No problem.
You know, you guys are the first to actually come here in person. Everything else has been phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you guys
I didn't know we had that option.
so much.
You bastards!
Actually, and one was Skype. But
Oh,
thank you for coming
okay.
in person. This is awesome.
Yeah, but Skype was terrible.
That was terrible. The audio was awful.
All right, so can you tell us about how the band started and how'd you all meet?
It's actually kind of a really funny and I guess lame-o, if you really think about it, story. It wasn't like no ninjas or samurais. I put up an ad. Oh, by the way, I'm Dan. I'm the singer and upright bassist to the Silverhounds. I put up an ad on Craigslist looking for a guitarist and drummer, and sure enough, they responded. Derek on guitar and Tim on drums, and we just met, and it just took off right from there. So it was through the power of the internet.
Internet does wondrous things.
Yes.
The power of
does.
friendship.
Power of friendship. Via the power of the interwebs. So, your influences seem pretty vast. What led you guys to write music that brought metal and psychobilly together?
Justin Bieber,
Justin
Katy
Bieber.
Perry. Nah.
Oh man.
I don't know. I mean, we all had like our background. I mean, Derek comes from like really heavy metal background and stuff. Yeah.
Thrash music.
Yeah,
mainly.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Nice. So, what are some of your own personal influences, Derek? Who are some of your biggest influences as a guitarist?
Oh, jeez. It's George Harrison.
Well, that's a good one.
Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera. A lot of those.
Multiple
bands.
thumbs up
Yes.
from us for that one.
Yeah.
Tim?
Oh yeah, a lot of old school thrash and like Slayer and Maiden, of course, all that stuff. And Dave Lombardo is obviously a huge hero. I'd never be able to play like him, but he's fucking awesome. And a lot of old school punk and hardcore. And then it kind of eventually just it's almost like the older you get, you eventually are going to stumble on some psychobilly. It's just kind of the natural progression, I think, like culmination of all these
Yeah, it's
great
like the
genres.
retirement plan for
Yeah.
punks. Well, not entirely, but yeah.
The
And
grown-up
that was-
punk.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, a lot of young kids are doing it now too, and I mean, for me, it was mostly just like Iron Maiden, Motorhead, mostly Motorhead, really.
Yeah, you got the sticker on
Yeah.
your bass.
The patches on jackets. Saw him live a couple of times. Saw him live with these guys too. Well, mainly just this guy, Tim. Yeah, and then I kind of discovered, I guess, psychobilly a couple of years ago. About 10 years ago, went to a show and was just blown away by what was on stage. This big giant upright bass, and just such a vast network of influences, I guess, that you can draw from. Kind of just eventually, once you start writing your own stuff, and you're always gonna pull from different aspects, and that's how you end up with our sound, I guess, because we come from such a diverse background.
I had never even heard of
Yeah, this guy never
psychobilly
heard
at
of
all.
it.
And I saw the ad and I listened to the songs and I was like, I just want to play guitar very fast. And that's why I'm playing in this band.
Well, certainly a lot of it's very fast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the same thing with me. I'm really new to psychobilly. You guys are are the first psychobilly band I ever got really into.
Cool.
You guys and Zombie
We're
Ghost
on it,
Train,
yeah.
I found like the same.
I had Zombie Ghost
Around
Train's
time.
pretty good.
All right, so since this is like a metal show, I mean, a lot of listeners are probably not going to know what psychobilly is. So could you explain what the genre is like?
It's kind of it's like a subcultural thing. It combines a lot of like old school rockabilly, 1950s stuff, and then you take like some punk rock and that kind of speed and aggression, and it's just and then the thrash too. Of course, is I don't know. It feels natural. Like
Well,
that
for
they
us,
go
it
together.
does feel natural. I mean, you don't commonly see a lot of people that incorporate, I guess, like metal and thrash into it. But I mean, it's still out there. You just kind of got to look for it. Like I know there's like the Strikers and the Coffin Cats, and then I guess there's just us, at least on the East Coast, from what I can tell. But yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest visual factor is the presence of the upright bass. Doesn't always mean that that's what makes it psychobilly or just even rockabilly. It's just one of the more common ones, because there's a couple bands like the Cramps that don't even have a bass, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's
so.
generally horror themed too. A lot of
Yeah,
it's like
a lot of
that's a
horror.
huge influence in it. So I mean that's a big part of it too. There's just like a lot of horror fanatics in that.
Actually, Derek, what was your take on it? I mean, you're practically, I guess, the noob in this, so.
As far as what?
Well, like, your take on psychobilly now that you've been exposed to it.
I mean, as with most genres, there are bands that I, really like, and there are bands that, I could really not care about. But, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think we got a little bit of a frame there for the genre. Can you guys tell us a little bit about the writing and recording process for the first demo and the following EP, Hellacious?
Well, it was actually a little interesting. When I put up the ad on Craigslist, I already had like 3 songs. Well, technically I had actually like 5, but I only showed 3. And we ended up just practicing those 3. The other 2 I kind of just tossed on the wayside. And we were really just like, jamming on those, then jamming with whatever. And then we started like, I guess, working on other stuff. And I guess a lot of it is like, usually we just lay out a groundwork. And I usually end up recording like this little demo, like a scratch demo. And I email it to them, and then they listen to it. At the next practice, we kind of just go over it and stuff, and they add their things to it. So it's kind of, I guess, like piecemeal.
Yeah.
So like, we build up, we make a skeleton, and then we flesh it out right after. And the recording process was pretty fun. Just like, I guess, any other recording when it comes down to recording any kind of album, really. Just head in the studio. Hopefully you know your stuff before you go in.
Yeah.
No thoughts on the writing process?
So where'd you guys record Hellacious anyway?
It was at this actually. It was at a friend's basement.
Oh.
You know,
And,
you're seeing that a lot more now, and it
Yeah.
also sounding better and better that way.
The technology has definitely gotten there, but I mean, you can't really just rely on the technology. The guy himself, his name is Will Lewis. He actually is really, really good. He's got a very good ear, and his product is like top notch. Like, no joke, it's some of the best sounding stuff that I've ever heard, coming from not even just the basement, just coming from anywhere really. And I was really happy to know him beforehand because he helped us out and stuff. And yeah, that was his company was Redbird Recording. I don't know if they're still around now that he's working at other places and stuff. I think it's still around. Like that's where he does most of like the mixing and stuff. But yeah, that's in Jersey.